Hi, everybody. My name is Angie George, and I want to, first of all, congratulate you on taking the first step and becoming an Isogenics associate. So, I want to just run through some of the basics and some of the more detailed information on things that you'll need to know and want to know as you are beginning to share Isogenics with your friends and family. So we're going to talk about the basics in the following areas. What is BV, staying active, what a cycle is, and what does PIB mean? These are all things that you're going to hear us talk about within the Sweet Freedoms GoPro page. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows what the following items are. So let's talk about BV first. BV is the abbreviation for business volume, and each product has a BV attached to it. BV is really like a point value. So you can see from this drawing here, this is basically a screenshot taken from our back office that a shake canister would be 27 BV. Each product will show you the BV as you're going through and placing your order. But in order to remain active, you must purchase 100 BV worth of products every 30 days. So let's take a look at this screen here. This is a snapshot of your back office. So when you log in at isogenics.com, you would use your username and password, and this is going to be the home screen that you're taken to. And you can see in red here, I've circled where it says active until, and this particular person is active until March 19th. We always advise placing orders at least one day prior to your active date. And the reason for doing that is because if you place a 100 BV order on March 19th, that 100 BV will go towards keeping you active. However, if you place it at least one day before, it can be multiple days before, but at least one, that 100 BV will not only go towards keeping you active, but it will also go to whichever side is, in a sense, weaker or needing more business volume to help you to cycle. And we're going to talk about cycling here in just a minute. So let's take a look at this slide here. I just have a snapshot of March and a snapshot of April. So if you remember from the previous slide, the person was active until March 19th. So that just popped up there on the calendar. So we're going to advise that you place your 100 BV order at least one day prior to. So placing that order on March 18th is going to not only keep you active, but allow you to use those 100 BV and points to help you to cycle quicker. So what happens now is you'll have a new active date, and that active date is now going to be April 17th. So it's going to push it out 30 days. But let's just say that you, prior to the 17th of April, you need additional products. So let's say that you go in and on April 1st, you place a 60 BV order. That is not going to do anything to your active date. Your active date is still going to remain April 17th. So let's say that then on April 16th, you go in and you need additional products again, and you place a 40 BV order. The 60 and the 40 BV, obviously added together, equals 100. So that is going to adjust your active date. However, it is going to give you a new active date based on when you placed that 60 BV order. So your new active date would be on the 1st of May. We can explain more of that to you. If you have further questions, get with the person that got you started. But I strongly advise placing 100 BV orders all the time, or setting your auto ship up to always keep you active and have 100 BV in your auto ship worth of products. Next, we're going to talk about what is a cycle. So when you log into your back office, to your account, you're going to see this BV summary here that we have over on the right. And it's going to calculate out for you last week, this week, your cycles, the left and right, and those numbers are going to be the business volume that's been accumulated over the past, however long that week's gone on. So that always is going to be from a Monday to a Sunday that it begins accumulating. So I want to explain to you how to cycle. A cycle is going to be 300 BV on one side. It can be either your left or your right. In this instance, I'm going to just show it on the left, and then 600 BV on the right. And what happens whenever that happens is it's going to cancel out the BV and it's going to pay you $54. So every cycle equals approximately $54. I believe it's around $54.10 sometimes. Sometimes it's exactly $54, but roughly $54. Numbers aren't perfect, so it's never going to work out perfectly. Like you can see from the BV summary, you're always going to have some remaining volume. So let's just say you had a President's Pack that went in on your left, and that's 320 BV, and you have 650 BV that goes in on your right. So what would happen there is that would still cancel those two numbers out. It would still pay you $54, but it's going to leave you with remaining business volume on both sides. It's going to leave you with 20 BV on your left and 50 BV on your right. So what I love about Isagenix is that that always remains there. At the end of every week, a lot of companies will reset that and they'll wipe it out to zero, but Isagenix doesn't. It always allows you to accrue and bank business volume, if you will, as long as you remain active with your 100 BV orders every 30 days. So next, we're going to talk about a PIB, and PIB stands for Product Introductory Bonus. And it's basically what it is. Here I've shown a flyer that you can find in your back office, but it's going to show you the Product Introductory Bonus, or the PIB, on that left column, and then BV, what it's worth, on the right column on the right-hand side there. And it's going to let you know how much each pack is going to pay you, what your commission would be. So take a look at that. And like I said, you can download that from your back office so you can see it larger, or even print it out to have it in a binder. Isagenix is incredible, and they also allow you to earn double PIBs. So the way that you can do that is you must have 2 or more associates join Isagenix, enrolled with AutoShip and one of those qualifying packs within the same commission week, and Isagenix will double that product introductory bonus. So not all packs qualify for double PIBs. So you can see on the left there, it's going to show you which packs do qualify, what the PIB is, and what it doubles to. The Isagenix work week or commission week runs from Monday through Sunday at midnight Eastern Standard Time. Again, you can find this in your back office as well. And then there's an example on the bottom that just shows you. Let's just say you were to enroll 2 30-day systems on AutoShip in the same week. That $25 is going to double to $50 on both of those packs. If you then enroll a third person that week, that doubles. So you don't have to work in twos. It's just anything that is at least 2. Beyond that, they will all double. So I think that's pretty awesome of Isagenix. Next, we're going to just talk about the compensation, the way that Isagenix compensates us. 4 different ways. You've got daily, which are the PIBs for President's Packs and Pace Setters. They will pay you daily. So let's just say that today you enrolled a friend with the President's Pack. That's an $80 PIB, and that PIB will be paid out to you within 24 hours of that pack either being shipped or being picked up at will call if the person is picking it up. Next is weekly, and weekly pay is going to be your cycle earnings and then the double portion from your PIB. So say that same week you add a second President's Pack. You'll receive the $80 for each of those packs within 24 hours, but that double portion, the second 80 for the packs, won't be paid out to you until it's a week in arrears. So that's going to be your weekly pay. Isagenix pays us every Monday. You will receive an ISA wallet card, and every Monday it's loaded with your commissions. Monthly, you get paid monthly with leadership pools. Those are director and executive pay and hire. And the 4th way that Isagenix pays you is annually, and that is the holiday bonus pool. And you are qualified to earn shares in the holiday bonus pool if you are at the rank of manager or higher. But all of this information can be found under the Contests and Promotions tab in your back office. So next I want to talk about rank advancement bonuses. There are 5 positions of rank within Isagenix. So you can see the first is associate, consultant, manager, director, and executive. And associate is you getting started, and you've gotten started with the annual enrollment and a qualifying pack of 100 BV or higher. The next is going to be consultant, and consultant is going to pay you a $50 bonus. And that is not time sensitive. However, the following 3 positions are. Consultant is going to be you plus 2 people, enrolling 1 on your left side and enrolling 1 on your right side. Manager is going to be you plus 2 and then them plus 2. And I'm going to go through more of this a little bit later. That $200 that's noted below manager is because every time you teach one of your friends to share with 2 people, they become a consultant. And just for teaching them how to do that, Isagenix rewards you $100 every time you do that, up to 20 of your consultants. So that's an additional $2,000 that can be earned. Director is creating 6 consultants, and executive is creating 10 consultants, and that is 5 on your left and 5 on your right. Now, if you look down below where it says rank advancement bonuses in green, you can see that the timeline to do this. So Crystal Manager would be 30 days. So that's 30 days that you have to do you plus 2, them plus 2. Crystal Director is going to be 90 days for you to be able to do you plus 2, them plus 2, and that's creating that a total of 6 times. And that would pay you $750. And then the last position is going to be a 6-month time period, and that is to achieve Crystal Executive. And that is a $1,000 bonus, and that's for creating a total of 10 consultants. Like I said, 5 on your left and 5 on your right. So anytime you hear anybody called Crystal, either manager, director, or executive, that is because they did it within that time frame. So next, you guys, just focusing on what your next step is, not needing to know the entire plan, but just knowing where you're headed next and how you're going to get there. So the Isagenix compensation plan looks like this. Like I said, you begin as an associate. And that's you with at least 100. That one says PV, that's personal volume, but that's BV as well. Next position would be consultant, and that's going to be you plus 2 friends, 1 on your left and 1 on your right. And they are going to be active associates as well, so with at least 100 BV. The third position is going to be manager or Crystal Manager if you do that within the 30-day time period and collect that $250 rank advancement bonus. But that is you and your 2 people, but you've now taught them how to share with 2 people as well. So you've created 2 consultants. The next position is going to be either director or Crystal Director, just dependent on if they did that within that time period. And that is creating a total of 6 consultants. So you've taken 6 of your people and you have taught them each how to share with 2 people. And then the last, and it shows here 3 on each side. It actually doesn't matter for director or Crystal Director if they're all on one side or if they are split up. The only position that it does matter is Crystal Executive. And that is going to be you creating a total of 10 consultants. But they do have to be 5 on your left side and 5 on your right side. So you guys, you can find flyers for everything I was just talking about in your back office. So again, logging in at isagenix.com, and then at the very top, clicking on this tab here that says contests and promotions. And that's going to allow you to view these flyers, print them out. I've taken the time and printed them all out and put them in a binder so that I have them just easily accessible. If I'm out meeting with somebody, I've got all that information with me to be able to share it with somebody. So let's talk about sharing the ISA love and enrolling a new member. So when you log into your back office, you're going to click where it says Enroll New Member, that blue button at the top that I have circled. And it's going to take you to a screen where you scroll down and you're going to view your placement tree. And it's going to look like this. The names are a little blurred out in this picture, but you get the idea. When you are enrolling, you always want to enroll left, right, or vice versa. but you want to enroll alternating sides. And it's very, very important to pay attention to these boxes that I've got on bottom left and bottom right, because as your team grows, it's not going to all show up in one window. And so you need to make sure that you're hitting bottom left if you're enrolling on the left side, or bottom right if you're enrolling on the right side. And then being mindful of placing that new enrollment in the outside square. So if you were to place them on the bottom right, is always going to be the outer right square. And if it's the bottom left, it's always the outer left square. So make sure that's really, really important to remember so that we don't have to move people later. The rest is going to be pretty self-explanatory. It's going to ask you to create a username and password for your new enrollment. It's going to ask you, all of their personal information that you've gathered. And then once you finish with all of that, you need to set up their auto ship. And you're going to come to a screen that looks like this. And the selection you want to make is Build My Auto Ship with Solution Engine. And the way that we set up auto ship is by doing a charitable donation. So it's going to take you to a screen that looks like this here. And on the bottom left, you're going to click Charitable Donation. And it's going to pop up the next screen here where it's going to be Make-A-Wish contribution, and take one of the $1 donations and then add it to your cart and click there. Then you're going to head to the next screen, which is going to be where you can select your next auto ship date. So we always take this date and we roll it back by 2 days. And the reason that we do that is because not every month has 30 days in it. Some have 28 days, like February will throw things off. Some have 31 days. So it will get this off track a little bit. And if your new person chooses to use their auto ship for more than just the $1 donation, we want to ensure that we've set the date up properly so that they always get to use all of their BV, so that they never go inactive. So then the delivers every is normally going to say 28, or normally going to say 30 days, sorry, but you're going to want to change that to 28 days. So make sure that you do that. And then you would just click continue, and you're going to then go to place your order. But just make sure that you follow those steps to ensure that they properly get set up with their auto ship. You guys, the perks of auto ship, I don't know, how many of us know just why we do enroll our new members on auto ship, but it allows them a greater discount, anywhere from 5 to 15%, when they're purchasing packs, when they're reordering. So it's going to allow them a greater discount. And, if they build it out with products, it's going to ensure that they stay active so that they can, hang on to all of the business volume that's accruing. It gives you a personalized website. If you are not enrolled in auto ship, you will not have a website to be able to share with people. And that is something that we don't pay monthly to host or maintain. Isagenix does all of that for us, but you do need to be enrolled on auto ship, whether it's with products or just simply with the $1 Make-A-Wish donation. The next one is health insurance. If you are not enrolled in auto ship, you cannot participate in Isagenix health insurance plan. And then the last one is the IsaBody Challenge. In order to be a part of the IsaBody Challenge, you do need to be enrolled in auto ship. So we're just wanting to get people set up for success from the very beginning. So that's why we do that. Next, you guys, everything I just went over and talked about can be found in your back office. Your back office is such an incredible tool. But on the upper right there, you can see where I circled help and tutorials. If you click that, you are going to see all these videos that pop up. So you've got videos for getting started, for placing an order, for signing up a new member, managing your auto ship, and even managing your website. So if you have questions and you're unsure of the answer, this is a really, really good place to start. So now that you've enrolled your first person, you've got a team. If you've enrolled one person, you are a leader. And so you want to be able to keep track of your team. So this is an important tab that I check in with every single day. So you're going to click Team at the top, and then you're going to have a drop-down menu that appears, and you'll click View My Team. And the screen that's going to pop up is the one that I've got shown here on the bottom right. And it's going to give you your name, your rank, and then it's going to give you your BV summary for the past 4 weeks. But if you scroll down, it's going to show you your personally enrolled. And in the blue here, it's going to show you their consultant name and member number. And you are able to click on those to view an expanded form of each person. So in just looking at this particular example, you can see how long everybody is paid as consultant until, and you can see one person here is in a grace period. And what I would do if I saw this screen is I would click right there where I've circled. I would click on that, the consultant's name, and it's going to take me to a screen here which is going to show their personally enrolled people. So what you can see here is that that person has an inactive person on their right. In order to remain paid as consultant, you have to always have an active person on your left and an active person on your right. So if you see one of your consultants in grace, it doesn't necessarily mean that that particular person is inactive or in need of ordering, but it may mean that it's somebody in their team or in their downline that you need to take a look at. So make sure that you're keeping up with that and teaching your team to do the same. And another great resource here is going to be under that same tab. That's the team tab, but clicking then, instead of view my team, clicking view downline reports. And the blueprint or the downline report that I use the most is this one here. And that's a blueprint by category, business blueprint by category, it actually says. And I use this so often. This is really a great report to check out, because as your team grows, it's going to allow you to really keep up with everybody. So this is just kind of a snapshot of some of the things that you would see. It's going to show you anybody that's up for double PIB. So if you have somebody that's enrolled one person, it's going to list all of those people there to let you know who only needs one more to double their PIBs. The next one is the next Enrollers Club participants, or now they're calling it Team Builder. But that's going to be once you have 5 people that you've enrolled, 5 new members, Isagenix, rewards you with a free box of Ageless Essentials with Product B, and that's $140 value. So it's going to show you who is either 1 or 2 away from that. Same with potential consultants. It'll show you who's 1 away from that. Same with managers. Next generation of leaders will be who's up for director or executive. And members needing validation, that would be if you are sponsoring somebody internationally. But unless they're out of the United States, nothing is going to appear in that category. But this is something that I frequently pop into, and this is how I know, when I post in the page, who's up for what that week, so that I can help to encourage them. But my reports will only go so deep. They're only going to go 4 levels deep. And so it's really important for you guys to familiarize yourself with these reports so that you can be, encouraging your team as well. So let's talk about some resources and important sites. So Facebook is probably one of the most incredible tools that we have to be able to reach a large number of people, and be able to share Isagenix with them. So we've got our Sweet Freedoms Facebook page that we've got put in place, and that is really for health and wellness. It's like our support group almost. And then the second page that we have, once we've got people that get started, we add them to our Sweet Freedoms GoPro page, and that is our business communications group. The picture that I've got shown here is our Sweet Freedoms page, and I've highlighted a couple of important sections. The first one is an area where you can search this group. So let's say you've got somebody that has a question maybe about being diabetic and how this program would work for them. You could type in diabetes over in that search this group section and click the magnifying glass, and it's going to pull up any posts or articles that are related to that. The next section is going to be our files section. And if you click there, it's going to pull up a number of different files that have been created by various people that are doing Isagenix on the Sweet Freedoms team. And, as we're asked questions And if it's not within the file section, feel free to create a file and upload it, because that's how that section grows. But we've got a number of great comparisons to various other companies out there, because people have wanted to see side-by-side comparisons of them. But if you haven't checked that out, I would encourage you to do so. But this page is an incredible resource. And then at the bottom there, you can see where you can add people to the group. And you just simply type in your friends or your family members. You've got to be Facebook friends to add them to the group. If you're not, you can see that you can invite them by their email address, and they will have to accept if you do that way. So when adding people to the Facebook group, I don't necessarily ask permission necessarily. Sometimes it comes up in conversation and I say, you know what, I'm going to add you to our Facebook page. But if it hasn't come up, what I'll typically do is I'll add them, but I will let them know, and I'll send them a private message. And my private message might sound something like, hey, so-and-so, I just wanted to let you know I added you to a private Facebook page called Sweet Freedoms. I've been a part of the page for however long you've been a part of it. And I find so much motivation and inspiration within this group, and I hope that you find it as beneficial as I do. So I haven't said anything about weight loss, anything about energy, anything about Isagenix. I just simply let them know that I'm the person that put them on that page. And if they have questions, they can come to me. If they don't want to be on that page, they can easily remove themselves. But you'd be surprised how many people have been added that just stay on there, and they love the positivity that comes from our group. And eventually they end up with questions and, looking to get started on their own Isagenix journey. Now let's talk for a second about posting on your personal Facebook page. You want to make sure that you are genuine and authentic in your posts, but really I would advise you to keep the name of Isagenix out of your post. The goal with that is to create curiosity on your personal Facebook page, to have people ask you questions about what it is that you're doing so that you can personally engage in a conversation with them. That's a great opportunity to then add them to the Facebook page. But once you begin having private messages come in that are asking a number of questions, the best thing that you can do is to take that conversation offline and to set up a time to talk with them. And if you don't have that confidence yet in talking with somebody about this, then you can use somebody else's story, somebody else that the person that got you started with Isagenix, and do what we would call a three-way call, so that you can set it up and be that point of contact, but you've got somebody else to deliver that information. But what happens when you take those conversations offline is it allows them to hear the excitement and the passion in your voice, and it just allows all questions to be answered in a more timely and effective, really effective use of your time, versus messaging back and forth, because they can really become very, very lengthy messages. So I would encourage you guys to just really become familiar with these Facebook pages. The other great resource that we have is our Sweet Freedoms website. I know that not everybody is on Facebook, and so that's why this website was created. The web address is www.experiencesweetfreedoms.com. And what my husband and I did when we had this site built was we just really took everything that was being used and tagged over and over in the Facebook pages, and we had a website built with that information. So this is an incredible tool to use to send people to check out Isagenix and just really create interest in Isagenix. And then this is our IsaPulse app. And if you have not downloaded this to your phone yet, I would highly encourage you to. This is just an incredible app that Isagenix has come up with that allows you to really keep up on what's going on, in your business and, with your team members. So it's going to allow you to receive messages when somebody's, enrolled somebody, when they're up for a double PIB, when they're up for their next box of free vitamins. It helps you keep up with events that are coming up. Lets you know if you've got team that's enrolled in the IsaBody Challenge so you can congratulate them. Keeps you up to date on rank advancements and enrollments. So this is such a great app, and this is probably something that I use. I can't even tell you how many times a day I pop this app open, but it's super convenient to have that and not have to log into your back office every time you want to keep track of something. But this by no means replaces the back office, but it's definitely a great at a glance tool to have. Some important websites that you guys want to really make sure that you're aware of. You've got isoproduct.com. This is going to be a great website for all product information and ingredients lists. So if you're having people that want to know what ingredients are in the products, send them to this website. It does not have prices on it. It will just simply educate them on the products. Our goal is that you don't become the product expert, but you know where to send your people. So you know what tools to use. Isagenixhealth.net is basically a health blog, and they've got health-related articles, and then they're able to answer questions on that site. Isagenixbusiness.com, that's going to be just exactly what it says. It's going to be business-related questions on how to build your business, on how to share Isagenix, and equally having sales tools to help you do that. Isamovie.com is going to be a movie site that has the videos covering all 4 solutions: healthy aging, energy and performance, weight loss, as well as wealth creation. IsaBody Challenge. This is going to be, really explaining what the contest is all about and the incentives as well. The teamisagenix.com, that's your athlete website. If you've got any athletes taking a look at this, that website is great. IsaFYI.com is a website that's been put in place for recognition. And then the latest and greatest, just keeping you up to date on Isagenix. And then StartYourLife.com. Oh my gosh, you guys, if you haven't visited this website and you've got people that are between the age of 18 and 35 that have either joined your business or you would like for them to see this, familiarize yourself with that website. Start Your Life is just such an incredible movement. So START's vision is to ignite all young people to own their lives physically and financially, and through our contributions, create freedom and a lasting legacy. And all I can say is the people that are a part of this group are doing amazing things. And you can find their Facebook page as well. You can just search START and ask to join the group. So if you've got somebody that is within the 18 to 35 age range, definitely make sure that you're sharing that with them. And a little bit more about the IsaBody Challenge. This is something that we should just all register for. You've got a chance to win anywhere from $1,000 to $25,000. But not to mention at the end, the worst that's going to happen is you've transformed your body. You've made a commitment to yourself that you've stuck to for 16 weeks, and you get $200 in products at the end of the challenge. So this is great. And also it's a great business building tool. It's going to have a higher retention rate when people make that commitment to themselves. So let's talk about daily method of operations, the DMO. These are things that, that should be done on a daily basis. If you are treating this as a business, these are non-negotiable things that I personally do every day. The first is Facebook. I love that we get to use Facebook and play on Facebook for our business, but it is such an incredible tool. So posting daily, both within your personal page as well as within the Sweet Freedoms team page. If you have added people to that page, they are looking for you. They aren't looking for me or anybody else to be posting, but they're looking for you to see that you're an active part of this. A great rule is the 10-4-1 rule. So that's 10 posts, this is throughout a week, of you just being funny and you overall just being you and who you are. 4 lifestyle posts, so maybe just exciting things that you've got coming up. Maybe you're going on a vacation. Maybe you've been saving for a vacation. But just different things that you're doing that would be considered, part of your lifestyle. And then 1 power business post. And, your power business post could consist of, maybe saying something like how excited you are that you've really taken control of your health. And not only are you doing it for yourself, but that you get to do it alongside of your friends. And, if it's gone to the point where you are able to walk away from a job, that's definitely something that you want to celebrate and post about on Facebook. Maybe it's something that's allowing you to spend more time with your children, be a more active part of their life. But you'll know, and these posts are going to be evolving as you are going through your own Isagenix journey and building this as a business. The second is my back office. I'm always checking out the team, and I'm in my blueprints. So I know where everybody's at, and knowing really how I can reach out to them and how I can help them. The third is connecting. Connecting with people is so important, and making sure that you do this through, getting out of the house and connecting with people on Facebook, maybe at your children's school, in the office. And it doesn't necessarily have to be with the intention of, getting them started on Isagenix, but just being real mindful of connecting with people in general. For me personally, I used to be that person that would walk out and I would just, kind of stare at the ground. I wasn't in a great frame of mind. I wasn't looking to start conversations, and I really had to change that. And connecting with people is something that is fun for me now. The worst that's going to happen is I'm going to make somebody smile. The best that's going to happen is I'm going to make a new friend and they're going to join me on this Isagenix journey. But just make sure that you are being very conscious of connecting with people. And then the fourth is personal development. This is huge. This is just, there's so much negativity in the news, in the world, on Facebook even, that personal development, when you flood your mind with great things, you will be surprised how you'll see a shift in your life. So if you can make a commitment to 15 minutes minimum each day to either plug into a podcast or read a book, you will notice such a huge difference. Here's a list of some great books that I have personally read. GoPro is the number one book on there. That's why I put that first. I would absolutely recommend everybody reading that. And then, the Go Giver, Beach Money, and so on. But those are going to be some incredible reads for you. And then isagenixpodcast.com. You will never run out of things to listen to. This is great if you've got an empty car, maybe all the kids are off to school, or you've got a long commute to work. I know for me, I used to pick up the phone and I would just talk the entire way wherever I was going. And so I've had to really be aware of that. And instead of doing that, I'm now listening to podcasts, and it really has made such a difference. The next is going to be making your list of 100. And I know 100 sounds like a really, really huge number. Maybe it might be a scary number to a lot of you, or maybe that was just me. But I thought 100 people, I don't know 100 people. The funny thing is I actually have a list of 100 plus people now, and that's always growing, and people are always getting added to the list. But creating your list, and you can find this through the resources in your back office to be able to print this out. There's only spaces for 33, so what I did is I printed out a couple of them, or you can flip it over and just continue your list on the back side. But it's going to have a section that says, who do you know? It's going to kind of jog your memory. And people that maybe you wouldn't generally think of, that might not come to mind. So create that list and have that be your working list. And then it's going to be connecting with the contacts on your list. And there's several ways of connecting. You've got connecting via Facebook if they're your Facebook friends. You've got just flat out old school style, picking up the phone and just making a connection. Again, it doesn't have to be talking about Isagenix, but just get good at connecting. Another great way is to go to their personal Facebook page and kind of see what they've been up to and become a part of their life that way. If you need more help in this area, you can get with the person that enrolled you, and we'll definitely be able to give you tips on how to do this. And then having a tracking system. When you talk to somebody about Isagenix, it generally takes 4 to 6 exposures before they say yes. So if you get a no, you don't want to cross them off your list. You want to just write down what your conversation was that you had and what the date was, so that you know maybe when to go back to them and how to follow up. But following up is key. Like I said, 4 to 6 exposures before saying yes. I definitely didn't say yes the first time that I heard about Isagenix. And following up is something that we want to make sure that we do it in a manner that we would like to be approached by. So when I follow up with somebody, I don't message them or call them and say, hey, I'm just checking in to see when you're ready to get started with Isagenix. But I just am their friend. And maybe I see something on their Facebook page. Maybe it's their anniversary, or it's their birthday, or they had a bad day. And I just check in with them and let them know, hey, I was just thinking about you and wanted to let you know. And it's interesting doing that. It's truly developing a friendship and a level of trust that when they do decide it's their time for Isagenix, they know that they're going to come to you. The key is making sure that you are connecting with these people, because what I can tell you is that if they don't know what it is that you're doing, they can't get started with you, and we can't be upset about that. So this is a business, and this is something that we need to let people know about. We are truly the voice of Isagenix. So get comfortable and become proud of what it is that you do with Isagenix. So you have made your list of 100. What I want you to do is everybody go into your back office and print out your roadmap to becoming Crystal Executive. And I did this when I really began to understand what Isagenix was capable of doing in my life and in my family's life. And so I printed this out, and in pencil, I went through and I filled out the names. And the reason I say pencil is because some of the people that you think are going to do this aren't. And some of the people that you never imagine are going to do this are. But this is a great starting point in kind of creating what we would call your board of directors, the 10 people that you would love to work with. And the beauty of Isagenix is that you do get to pick who you work with. So fill this out in pencil, and let's just, work off of that. You've got to have a working blueprint. And this I found to be so motivating. And it was something that I had printed out, and I worked off of it, and I looked at it daily. And it was just it was my business blueprint. So, like I mentioned, some of these people are going to be excited and ready to jump in with you. Some of them are going to get started and want to see results before they share. And some of them are going to get started and be incredible product users, but never tell a soul. And we're here to support no matter what their goals are. But what I will tell you is that through Isagenix, I have developed some of the most incredible relationships. And here's a photo of our team last year, and this was at Isagenix University in September. It was held here in Phoenix, and this is just a few of the people that are a part of our team that are truly just like family to me. And just wanted to show some of these pictures to let you know that you are part of something so incredible, and you've got the support from everybody that you're seeing here within these photos. Here's a few more pictures from Isagenix University, from Celebration, which is another great event. That's where you see the ladies down on the bottom right, all dressed up. And then also we've got a photo on the bottom left, and that was from the most recent event, and that is New Year Kickoff. And that was held in Palm Springs. And we had a group of 16 of us that headed out there, and we all rented a home together and just had a great time, as a team and celebrating what all of our goals are. Here's a few more pictures, from various different events, but just to show you these people, some of them have been a part of my life for a long time, and some of them I have just met, but I would really do anything for them. They've just become just like family. So Isagenix is an incredible vehicle that will transform your life on so many levels, between the health transformation, the financial transformation, and then the relationships that are built because of this. And Isagenix offers the most incredible incentive rewards trips for sharing something that works. This is, a slide of my husband and myself on a vacation provided by Isagenix to St. Thomas. And we went there in June of last year. This was the first time that Jason and I had been away together on a tropical vacation since our honeymoon. And we will be married 12 years in March. So that was a big deal to us. And it was all for sharing solutions that work. And we have just had the privilege of working with this beautiful lady up here on the top right. That is Tracy O'Malley, and she's been an incredible mentor. She has just provided me with the knowledge and the tools, and she'll do the same for any of you to really be able to achieve whatever it is that you desire out of Isagenix. But Isogenics is truly the solution to transform lives. And we are here to change lives. It just so happens that we are blessed greatly with an amazing compensation plan for doing so.